Wow, another week which shows us why we love the Premier League so much. From Barnes' super substitution at St James's Park to Burnley's shock point at Stamford Bridge, Sheffield United's bottling against Fulham, and the most hyped up game at the Etihad Stadium being really boring in a nil-nil draw.
Yes, you are right. One more week gone, and it started really well with that great game between Newcastle and West Ham.
Yeah.
I think West Ham bottled it. Moyes did wrong substitution. He should have kept at least one attacking player. He should have changed Antonio with Ings. But in the Newcastle Stadium, St James Park, it was always on. And then a lot of good games. Very entertaining game between Liverpool and Brighton, but the one with which we had so much of
Hope
for a classic match between the two of the contenders.
Master and apprentice.
Yeah, ended in a very, very dull draw. And I think what Arteta wanted to do, he did. He wanted a point, I think, because the way they were set up and they were playing. And I think Man City were not really at their best. They were too slow in moving the ball and all that. But yeah, overall, good week for Premier League, good week for Liverpool. Yeah.
Okay, let's begin with the new week. It's midweek time right now. The games are
Yes,
like
games
crazy.
are like anything. Newcastle versus Everton. Everton in deep trouble.
12 games without a win. How can you go on that form and still be 3 points clear of the relegation zone? They have been saved by those 4 points being returned to them. They have literally been saved by that. If you remove that, they'd now be in the relegation zone currently in 18th place.
Yes.
So it's not looking good for Sean Dyche, and I don't think it's going to get better. This is again at home, so St James's Park. Right now, it's crazy after the comeback we mentioned. Newcastle United shouldn't have many problems here. A 3-1 victory, and the Swede Alexander Isak. His penalties are so cool, no?
Yeah, he was too good in those two penalties. No chance for goalkeeper. Even if they dive towards the right side, still they will not have any chance. They are such precisely hit.
So calm, so cool.
Yes, for me it will be, as you are saying, easy victory for Newcastle because Everton has lost their fight. I think in last 2 years in the relegation battle they were always up for fighting, but this time I feel they are now very, very discouraged, and then there is another point deduction looming on their head and they are not really confident. Easy victory for Newcastle, 3-0. Weekend hero Barnes to score again.
Okay, moving on to the Midlands. Nottingham Forest playing Fulham. Fulham with a dramatic late comeback to secure a point against Sheffield United. Nottingham Forest were hit with the point deduction and replied with a 1-1 draw. Chris Wood with that perfect pinpoint kissing header. I think he'll be on the score sheet again, and this time Forest win. They have so much fight in them, and I think this game is at home. The fans will be buzzing. A 1-0 victory and the goal to come from Chris Wood.
Yeah, for Fulham last weekend, I think they were more like in their holiday moods because now they have nothing to play for, not the European spot. They are not worried about relegation and they are safe. So that's why Sheffield could score 3 goals against them. And boy, that 4th goal, if it would have been went in, no chance for Fulham to come back. But still, Fulham came back. And in the end, it was feeling like they will score the 4th goal to win it. But it was a draw. So here also, I think Fulham will be awake from the beginning. They will have an easy victory. Nottingham Forest also is fighting, but not really there. Not enough quality. For me, I will say 2-0, easy victory for Fulham. The Brazilian sensation who is scoring almost every game now. Nunez will score again.
After just saying that they are not playing for any point, who went for the Fulham win?
Yeah, they will win this one.
Okay, yeah. Burnley against Wolves. Burnley are on a better form than most of the teams in the league. They are 3 games now unbeaten. This included a tough run against Burnley. Chelsea were also in this run. It's been really difficult for Burnley, yet they have coped.
Yes, but this one, I think, so the Burnley are fighting.
Yeah,
they are fighting. They don't want to go down so easily. They are fighting for it, and I hope when they are fighting, they will have something out of it, because the point deductions, Everton second point deduction, Nottingham again deduction, so they slightly have a chance. So they are
even
fighting
beyond
for
that, I
it.
think they have a chance still.
Yes, they
They're
are
only
fighting
4
for it,
points.
and I love that fight. I love company. But in this game, I don't see anything other than Wolves win, because Wolves lost the last game very tamely to Aston Villa. They will jump back. They will have a, a recovery in this game, and they will beat Burnley 2-1 and Pedro Neto to score.
Yeah, I think I think the Midlands derby you mentioned, Wolves against Villa, I think that's the reason why Wolves won't be ready enough. I know they're kind of fighting for Europe, but let's face it now, they're in 10th position. Their chances are getting slimmer and slimmer. It's really, I don't think they've got much to play for. And Burnley, however, are fighting at home. Last time out it was victory. This time a 2-2 draw. And by the way, Wolves have been facing an injury crisis, no?
Okay.
Cunha, Huang, Bellegarde, Sasa Kaldazic went out on loan. It's really been really viral. Pedro Neto is also injured.
Okay.
So I'm going with the only fit option, Pablo Sarabia.
Okay, next up is Bournemouth versus Crystal Palace.
Down to the south coast, Bournemouth did put in a pretty good shift against Everton. The keeper made a mistake, and that's how Everton leveled. But a 91st minute Seamus Coleman goal gave the Cherries all 3 points.
Okay. For me, this game, again, I would say Crystal Palace are playing a little bit defensive, not much improvement from Hodgson. And this they will stick together and they will defend well. Bournemouth, tired from the last game, will have 1-1 draw, easy for Crystal Palace to score.
Yeah, and one of the top scorers in the Premier League, Dominic Solanke, 16 goals. He will be on the score sheet again, in my opinion, in a 2-0 comfortable victory.
Yeah, next up, West Ham United. They bottled it at St. James Park, and St. James Park is such a place that it will take.
It'll haunt you once you concede 1 goal.
Yes, and West Ham United was sucked into that environment. That's what I could feel.
Yeah, I think the worst decision was Antonio for Calvin Phillips. That's
I can understand he wanted to preserve that 3-1 with a defensive change, but that was a negative thing. And once they scored the second goal, then that backfired, because then they didn't have anybody who was ready up to the part. I mean, ready towards the Newcastle half to get the ball, to save it for the runners and all. So it was negative for them. But yeah, okay, that happens sometime when you play at St. James Park.
Yeah.
This is West Ham against Tottenham in their own stadium. Tottenham also did not have that great a game against Luton, but somehow they managed to win. In this, I will think Tottenham's attacking powers will come full circle, and they will score 4 goals against West Ham's 2, 4-2, Johnson to score, Tottenham to win, keep pushing for Champions League spot.
Yeah, I disagree with that, honestly. Look at how West Ham, they'll be hoping. David Moyes was really proud of his players' performances. Son, speaking about Tottenham's performances now, Son, he took a lot of chances, but in the end, he finally got his goal, the match winner at home for Tottenham. But I think West Ham will try and put a more cagey game. West Ham have the DNA of kind of making these kind of big games. They try and upset teams. They were really holding Liverpool and Man City out for quite a bit, but in the end it didn't work, and they even beat Arsenal. So I wouldn't be surprised here if my prediction goes right, which is a 1-1 draw and the South Korean Heung-min Son to score.
Next up is a battle between 2 upcoming coaches, Thomas Frank and De Zerbi.
And 2 owners who really don't like each other. Brentford against Brighton. Brentford, what a performance that was against United. Unlucky not to get all 3 points, but Christopher Ayer was their saviour in the 99th minute. Brighton played really well at Anfield, but unfortunately did not get anything. Danny Welbeck with a wonder strike in his 100th appearance for the Seagulls in the Premier League. Brighton are really looking like a team which is going to try. They kind of have a chance in Europe, I believe, Conference League maybe. They're already out of your all competitions apart from the Prem, so they can fully focus their strengths on this. They do have a bit of squad depth in all positions. I think they need to use that, and that's their slight edge over Brentford. However, saying that, I really like Brentford's performance against Manchester United, and I think that will come to their aid for a victory here. 2-1, and the player who gave the assist for Christopher Dyer, Ivan Toney, to score.
I will say it will be a draw. Ferguson to score. It will be a 1-1 draw. And another draw for Brentford. Another point earned for Brentford. Yeah, it will be a draw.
Arsenal against Luton Town. Arsenal, I don't know why, but Arsenal fans actually celebrated the point at the Etihad. Many of them. They were pretty happy with it. I disagree. I thought Arsenal's performance was a bit shameful.
I don't think you go to Man City Stadium. Last year, you remember they went to Man City Stadium and Man City just humiliated them, winning 4-1, and they could not recover from that anytime. So I can understand the way they were playing. If you can't win, that's what Arteta said after the game. If you can't win, then you should at least not lose. So 1 point is better than 0 point. And this will give them a lead on Man City still. And they are only 2 points behind Liverpool. So nothing has been lost. So I think their approach could have been a little bit more attacking, because then you can put more pressure on Man City. But at the same time, then you open your spaces also. And that gives always a chance to score for Man City. And they need only one chance at home. So I think Arsenal was fine. This will be a game of Arsenal against Luton. It will be easy for them. They will very easily beat Luton at home. Although the last time when they played Luton, it was not easy. You are right, but this time I am 100% sure it will be very easy victory. 3-0. Jesus to score.
Okay, I disagree honestly. Well, to the first thought that I don't think Arsenal need to perform like that. How, when you're in a title race, these games they decide. This was the last match between the big three, and now if a team wins all their games, the title's out of your hands. And we know how City have the experience, how Liverpool have the advantage. So Arsenal are now, I think they're slightly drifting away from the race.
Yeah, we can have another video to discuss all this, but I don't think this was wrong, because you are not sure with the form Liverpool in, with the form Man City in. I cannot see them winning all the remaining 9 games. So it may be a very important point. So it may be very important point in there. So I can understand totally why they did this. But this game they will win easily 3-0.
4-1, Havertz. Yeah, it should be easy.
Next up is table toppers Liverpool at the bottom of the table. Sheffield United. Liverpool has history to not perform in these kind of games, but I think this will be.
Not really.
This is at Anfield.
No problem.
Between our supporters, Liverpool firing all cylinders, forwards going crazy. You see, Mohamed Salah took 12 attempts.
Most ever.
But still, his was the winning goal. So no problems there. This one, again, they will let Sheffield to score 1 goal.
How?
Yeah, I think Sheffield will score, but then Salah and company will overpower them. They will score 3 in return, and it will be 3-1 victory for Salah and colleagues.
Nothing really to discuss about this. It's 2 teams in the completely different situations. Liverpool 2, Sheffield United 0, and substitute Cody Gakpo to score.
Chelsea against Man United.
2 teams off their top perch and now struggling mid-table. That was Chelsea's case. How? When you're playing a relegation team, you have the lead and your opponent is down to 10 men. How do you not win the game?
It happens sometimes, because sometimes it happens that
there's no excuse for this performance.
It's no excuse, but then when the other team has 10 players, they tend to defend very close, and that
leads to draws.
And Chelsea is not really now. They are not ready yet. That's what they are moving towards the right direction, but they are not ready yet. So they have another chance against Man United this week, midweek. For me, Chelsea, the real Chelsea, will come over and score a victory 2-1 against Man United. Jackson to score.
Didn't talk about Manchester United's performance.
Manchester United were pathetic, as pathetic as it can be. And then I would say that if Man United would win that game with 96-minute winner of Mason Mount
It
against
would be-
Brentford, I will say that there is no footballing god in this world.
Yeah. Eric Ten Hag said we thought we had a grab and go.
Yes.
That was the situation, honestly. United didn't even deserve that 1 point. Shameful performance. I still think Chelsea aren't that great right now either, so 2-all draw. But United, on Sunday, we're coming for you.
Yeah, we will. Man City
Match
against
of the
Aston Villa.
week. Man City, Aston Villa, third against fourth. Aston Villa really need the points in that top 4 race because both Villa and Tottenham have to play the big 3. These are the games which can kind of decide not only the top 4 but the title. I don't really see Aston Villa competing with City. This is the game mode City. That City which now knows, okay, now there's no messing about. Now there's no 15, 16 games left. We need to win every game from now until the end of the season. I feel pretty sure City will win at least 7 games. And then Liverpool and Arsenal have to be almost perfect to keep up with that. And this starts right now. Manchester City 3, Aston Villa 1. Kevin De Bruyne have to score.
And
You'll probably not go for a City victory because this is...
for a record, this year Man City is not able to beat any team from the top 5.
Yeah, but you'll
They
anyways
have
have to
drew
win.
3-4 games, but they did not have even a single victory. I don't know why, but this is at Etihad, so they have a chance. But still, I feel because Aston Villa played a day before, they had an easy game. Manchester City played 24 hours after them, has a difficult game. Ake being injured in between, and Aston Villa being confident. It will be 2-2. Watkins to score, another drop point from Man City, making their task difficult. That's what it is from my side.
How can you say that?
Yeah, I feel 24 hours are good enough to recover, and because Aston Villa are playing good
This is the
football,
Manchester
and
City super team. You can just bring in the likes of Jeremy Doku, Julian Alvarez, Jack
you
Grealish.
don't remember the last game between these two teams? Aston Villa outplayed Man City, and that is the last
was
team
a
who
very-
beat Man City.
That was a very different fixture and a very different Villa side. This is nothing. I don't know what he's saying.
Yeah, that's okay.
You're not gonna get
That's
this
why we predict it. Let's see what happens this midweek.
Yeah, thank you guys
See
for
you
watching
guys.
this video.